Good morning, my friends. It is Sunday, the 8th of June 2024. I'm Sarah, and you're very welcome to my channel here on YouTube, this little corner of the YouTube world where I share all about cross stitch and maybe some other stitching and life related news along the way. So this is Sew Me Sarah, and you're very welcome, especially if you are new today. I hope that you will stay with me through the episode and decide if you like me enough to subscribe. Don't worry if I'm not your cup of tea. There are lots of other floss tubers out there doing things in different styles, in different ways, different stitches, and I'm quite sure that you will find your tribe if you have a look. Personally, I like to hop around and find lots of different people on Flosstube. So I'll watch people who stitch the exact kind of things that I do, things I would never stitch, things I just really admire, but no, I'll never touch. So I like to see a little bit of everything that's going on in our world. And the cross stitch world is very broad, and thankfully through the social medium of YouTube, we can experience that and find what suits us. So if you're new, as I said, you're very welcome. Stay for a little while, join us here, and see if it's your cup of tea. Sorry about that interruption. I've been waiting on that phone call for 5 days, so I had to take it. Anyways, as I was saying, if you're new, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back and for being the community that makes this channel, because this is not all about me. This is about us and the community that we have created here at Sew Me Sarah. So thank you for being part of that, and I hope that you enjoy today's episode. Now, I'm going to apologise in advance for today's episode because life feels very chaotic at the moment, and I think it might translate into this episode. I don't do chaos well, guys. It's been a time. So as a result of the chaos, there hasn't been a huge amount of stitching, but I do have things that I wanted to share with you. So I wanted to come back and have a chat this morning. Since the last time that we met, I've had a weekend away. We took Charlotte away for a little vacation weekend, just to a holiday cottage. We went to the beach. We did all things Charlotte directed. It's been about 5 or 6 years since we had a family holiday, a family time away together, because it's difficult with Charlotte. And it's still difficult, but it was more manageable, and we had a nice time away. So we had a lovely little holiday cottage. We went to the beach. We got really lucky with the weather. We did a lot of splashing. We ate some ice cream. We had fish and chips, and yeah, it was nice. It was nice. So we're gonna try again to do this in small increments, small weekend breakaways, because we don't want her to miss out on having holiday opportunities, and that's kind of been where we've been at for the last few years, just because it's been too hard. But anyway, that was really good. The other really nice thing that I've done since being away was Charlotte participated in her first ever Special Olympics games, and I'm telling you, if you want to go somewhere and just see where they make everybody feel like a winner, go along for half an hour, 3/4 of an hour to a Special Olympics meet, and just go and watch them participate, compete, celebrate diversity, celebrate their challenges, and just make everybody feel like a winner. I mean, Charlotte won nothing. It's a very long story, but she didn't even actually get to officially compete. There was a little bit of an admin mix-up, but anyway, she knows no different. She knows no different. So she didn't win anything, but look at this. Tell me this is not the face of someone who thinks and believes that she's a winner. So they were really, really good with the kids, and that was a very heartening and humbling experience to go through to watch. But I certainly recommend it if you need a bit of an uplift. Go along and feel like a winner yourself just for being there. So yes, that has been a couple of things that have happened. Then we got kind of locked down in a public health agency crisis drama. Charlotte attended a group a couple of weeks back where then 2 2 members of our group went down with E. coli. 2 kids in the group went down with E. coli and ended up in hospital. It was traced back to a day nursery that one of those kids attended, and there were 6 or 7 of kids there who were hospitalized, all very scary and traumatic. But it took a long time for that to all filter through. Then we got kind of locked down by PHA. Charlotte's not allowed to go anywhere, had to be tested, but they messed up with the testing, so she's been off school for a long time. And that phone call that I just got interrupted was the phone call I've been waiting on to tell me that all is clear, her test is negative, she never had it, she never got it, blah, blah, blah. So all is good. Very concerned for the kiddies who did get it, but they are coming round. It is serious in very small children, so some of them had a really rough time. So I feel for them and for their parents. But it has been a bit of a bumpy few days here because she's been off school for 3 days. And that meant I had to be off work. I've got big deadlines, blah, blah, blah. You don't really need to know all of this, but this is the explanation for all of the chaos. Lots and lots of non-stitching days, which I find hard. I know a lot of you will understand that. You find non-stitching days hard because stitching kind of helps to regulate us. But there we go. That is how life has been. But I'm very happy because it means she can go to school tomorrow. So nothing like the joy of a parent whose child can go to school. Anyways. Sorry, you're getting a very strange glimpse into my private life today and the way my brain works. So anyway, that's not what you're here for. Let's talk about some stitching things. So first of all, I need to tell you about the Love Poppet giveaway winner, and it's just occurred to me that I haven't drawn that winner, so I will. Okay, I told you it was chaos. I didn't pick the winner. When I was trying to pick the winner, my ring light tripod stand collapsed. I'm not sure if it's going to hold. So please bear with me. And if you're new here, it's not always this bad. Okay, the winner of the beautiful Pride and Prejudice kit from Love Poppet that was the giveaway on the last episode has been chosen, and it is Vicky N 4524. So Vicky, congratulations. There were lots of folks interested in winning this little giveaway. This kit is available from Love Poppet. It will be linked below, so those of you who didn't get lucky on the giveaway might like to go and make a purchase for yourselves. Thank you to all of you who entered the giveaway. Thank you for going and checking out the Love Poppet site and telling me all of the great kits that you liked. I think probably Knight Rider came out top in all of the comments. Many of you wanted to stitch Knight Rider, and I can see the attraction. That moon is absolutely glorious in the Knight Rider stitch, and I would love to stitch it, except I don't stitch Halloween, as you know. But it's great that you all had a look around the site to see what Love Poppet have to offer. So Vicky, if you get in touch with me, the email address is in the drop down below. You can send me a little email and let me know your address, your mailing address. I'll pop this in the post to you as soon as I can. If you prefer to contact me by direct message on Instagram, I'm SewMeSarah over there on Instagram. So congratulations, Vicky, and thank you to everyone for your interest. If you hang on to the end of the video, there are a few other giveaways to come. I have one for you right now, and that is the Cotton and Twine box. Cotton and Twine is the subscription arm of the Historical Sampler Company, and as you know, I love to work with Historical Sampler Company. Hold on, I'm just gonna move this chair. I didn't want it to make that horrible noise. Cotton and Twine is their subscription arm. I love to work with Historical Sampler Company, and they have been sending me the subscription boxes so that I can share them and all the information about them with you. And some of them I stitch, some of them I keep and stitch, and some of them I give away. This one I am reluctantly parting with. So the only reason you're getting this is because I recognize I have way too much on the go and way too much in stash at the moment. But this absolutely glorious design for the June box is called Birdhouse. And it is a collaborative design, so it is a collaboration between the Cotton and Twine subscription and Little Dove Designs. So Faye at Little Dove Designs has designed this one. Look how beautiful that is. Do you know how much I love you all to be giving this away to you? Okay, the details, first of all, if you're interested in ordering the subscription box for yourself, are that this box is available for pre-order now until the 25th of June. At the 25th of June, that subscription option ends and will be into the next month's pattern. So if you like this one, make sure that you subscribe before the 25th of June. This is a very flexible subscription and a very good value subscription from Cotton and Twine. It's a monthly subscription. You can subscribe and then opt out at any stage. You can pause it and skip a box if you like. You can choose between receiving Aida or linen for your boxes as well. And the price is fantastic. So the price is £20 per month for the Aida and £22 per month for the linen. And then you have postage and packaging on top of that, which is £3.99 for UK and £12 international. So it's a really good value box. So in your box, you'll get this beautiful pattern. In here is an A3 copy. It's a beautiful color copy, nice and large, easy to read, easy to see. It comes with your fabric, and in this case, it's linen. So I am giving this one away. So if you like, this will be a linen one. You could easily switch out the fabric if you didn't want the linen, but it's a beautiful piece of white swagart linen, and you've got all of your threads pre-sorted and a little needle tucked in there. So you have everything that you need to stitch the design. Part of the Cotton and Twine box selling point is that they also include the finishing materials. So in this instance, it's finished in a hoop. They have included a hoop in the box. So a lovely quality wooden hoop, not a naff one. Nice quality hoop. I think it's a 7-inch hoop. Yeah, 7-inch hoop. And then they also, every month you get a little sweet treat, which is, this month is sea salt oat milk chocolate from Otherly. So there we go, sea salt oat milk chocolate. I promise not to eat it before I send it to you. And there's also a little a gift treat in each box as well. And this month it's a beautiful little bird ornament. Now I think some of the boxes have come with different colours of birds, so not all this pink, but the one that Cotton and Twine Historical Sampler Company sent to me is this gorgeous peachy pink colour. So I will send all of this to you. It might be wet from my tears as I weep in parting with it. But I will send all of this to one of you who is interested in the box, and I hope that others of you will go and sign up to the subscription as well. So all of this can be yours. What I will say is the beautiful box that they send in, this is how your subscriptions from Cotton and Twine come. They come in this lovely box, beautifully packaged. But this month there is quite a lot of excess space in the box, and for international posting, if someone wins and it would require international posting, I will not be sending the original box. I'm going to try to keep postage costs down a little bit because I really want to still offer this out to anyone internationally. I don't want to have to say no, it's just for the UK. So everyone is welcome to enter for this. But you have to be 18, you have to be a subscriber, please, and you have to be you have to be willing to give me your address, obviously, which is why you have to be 18. But I also ask you not to use the words that attract the bots who just want to steal any free stuff really from us. So I want this to go to a genuine stitcher. So the Cotton and Twine June box, use the word birdhouse in your comment. And I will do a random comment picker, hopefully before the next episode and not during the next episode's recording. I will pick the winner for that and get this all sent off to you. Thank you so much, Historical Sampler Company, Cotton and Twine, for sending this to me. I really wish I had the space to stitch this one, but I also want to share the goodness. So this one is up for grabs today. Let me just pop it all back together so none of the bits like the chocolate get lost. Okay, that's all together again. You're safe. So let's talk about what little bit of stitching I did get done in the last couple of weeks. I have a tiny finished object, and it is this, which is one of the Kerst trio pieces. I think I showed you this a couple of weeks ago where I'd stitched the little cabin one. So there were 3 beautiful little Christmas ornaments in this little kit that was gifted to me. And I've enjoyed stitching these, just in kind of snatching spare moments to stitch these. So all 3 are now stitched. I just need to put them in the finishing box. So that one is the little Joyeux Noël one. So that was a fun little finish. And then another kind of finish. It's not a proper full finish, but as you know, I am doing a stitch along with Jackie from Comfort Stitching, and we have been stitching the Barbara Anna 4 Seasons ladies, and we started in December on the winter solstice. We started to stitch the winter one. We're both Northern Hemisphere residents, so we started with the winter girl, winter lady, and then on the spring equinox we started with the spring lady, and it has taken me a while to get her finished. Now I'm going to share her with you, and if you don't want an association put into your head that you might never be able to shake, you might want to not listen to my commentary on this bit. But this is Spring by Barbara Anna, and our stitch along is #BA4SeasonsSal. You can start and join in with us now at any stage with any of the ladies if you fancy just having a little bit of company to stitch along with. I'm stitching on a 40 count natural linen by Swagart, and I started up there with her head and with the little kind of bower of flowers, that a garland of flowers that goes across her head, or leaves, whatever. But when you take all of this away and you just are stitching that, man, it's a lot of pink. It's a lot of pink. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know I had a pink rant. And I absolutely love pink, but boy was that pink. And here comes the association. All that I could think about the whole time I was doing this was the song Beauty Queen Dropout from Greece, because of Frenchie and her pink hair. Is it Frankie Valli who sings that? I'm not sure, but anyway. So that's, every time I look at her, that's what I hear in my head is Beauty Queen Dropout, hanging around the corner store. That's all I hear. Oh. Anyway, it did get better. The pink, it got diffused by the bright blues and greens in her dress. And she is beautiful, but it was a lot of pink. And just when you think you've finished with all the pink, you stitch all the way down and she's got pink shoes. Anyways, I loved stitching her, and I'm happy to have her finished because of course it's June, and on the 21st of June, which is the summer solstice, we'll be starting the Summer Lady. Now, I heard someone else on YouTube this week. Was it Sally at Flossie Sews and Grows? She's starting something on the first day of summer. I think it was Sally, with an American stitching friend too. And she discovered that the first day of summer for us here in the UK is the 21st of June, but it is the 20th of June in the US. So that may be the same thing, and maybe Jackie's planning a start on the 20th, but that would be the reason why, is that I didn't know that we had different solstice dates. But anyway, it's only a day. It's only a day's difference. But on the 21st of June, I plan to start the summer lady, and there are my two ladies, and I'm still keeping my fingers crossed that I've left the right spacing to stitch these. This line across the top is my spacing line. It will be removed eventually, and if you can see the kind of the vertical lines here, that's where spring should be stitched. Then there's a little gap between the two patterns, and these two vertical lines, then that's where summer should be stitched. So this one worked out really well, so she is in the right position as long as these two are properly counted. I've counted and counted and counted and recounted these, so please let them be right. But anyway, it's lovely, and I'm looking forward to starting again with summer in a few weeks time. Really, yeah, it's only a few weeks time. I have to say that I'm kind of surprised just how vibrant the spring lady is, and maybe if I'd chosen my own fabrics I would have toned her down a little bit. But in saying that, I've seen the whole thing finished. So Sally at Flossie Sews and Grows has had her finish framed recently, and she showed that, I think 2 episodes ago now. She showed her framed piece had come back, and she stitched it as called for, so it's as bright and vibrant as this, and you know, and it's beautiful. So I don't want to mess with that, but I kind of feel this is quite summery actually in its vibrancy, but it's Barbara Anna. You don't mess with Barbara Anna. She knows what she's doing. So that is my progress, sort of a finish on a finish of one of the ladies. It's not a finish of the chart. Okay, the next piece is a whip, and it was 2 whips. I showed these last time. They were new starts, I think, last time, and they are currently my daily thread stitching. Now, I haven't gotten very far because, as I said, there were lots of non-stitching days, so they didn't get a thread put into each of them. But these are the Little Robin Designs Straighten Your Crown. That's the pattern there. I'm stitching 2 of these in tandem, so one is blue, one is red. One for someone else and one for me, and I'm not sure why I decided to stitch them in tandem, but I did. Anyway, you can see I'm a little bit behind on the red one, not quite in tandem with that one, but I got all of the wording finished and a few more crowns in, and I really love it. I think it's just gorgeous. It's just as gorgeous as it appears on the pattern. So I'm going to keep this one going for my daily thread. So that's 1 length of thread in my needle every time I sit down to stitch. Of course, it's kind of 2 lengths of thread because I'm doing both of them at the moment. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna keep going with on the daily thread, and hopefully by the end of June. Hopefully, she says, if she gets back to stitching properly, hopefully by the end of June I'll have those finished. So that's that one. And then I have been keeping up with Andrew at the Runner Stitcher. He is doing a sal with the hashtag whip into shape. And the idea is Andrew is in training for a marathon at the end of August, and we are supporting him by stitching along with his training plan. So every day Andrew runs or rests, and he has a spreadsheet where we can go and check out whether he has run 3 miles or 2 miles or 10 miles, or whether he has rested. And for each mile that he runs, the plan was that we would stitch 10 stitches. Now, lots of people are just making this their own, and some people have decided to do 20 stitches for every mile, or indeed 26.2 stitches per every mile. whatever way folks have wanted to join in and stitch along as Andrew is in training for his marathon. The idea was to pick one of your whips that you wanted to make a good progress on and focus on that for the duration of the 4 months of his training program. So it's been fun to see people's progress. Even it's just that a little bit of progress consistently, it does actually take you somewhere. And I guess that's the same with his running as well. A little bit of progress, a little, consistency helps to build you up for that marathon. So I say, knowing nothing about running myself. Can you tell? Anyway, so I chose to stitch on, well, I was pressured by Andrew. Not really. So I chose to bring out the Bee Queen, which Andrew had started with me last year when I was doing this as one of my 50 starts in the Fun for 50 Sal. So I picked up the Bee Queen, and she is the one I'm adding in all of the stitches for. So some days I'll do it on the day. So Andrew's run 4 miles, I'll stitch my 40 stitches. It usually goes over a little bit, so it's keeping me ahead, which is quite nice. And other days, like this, in this last couple of weeks, I just sat down on Friday and I did everything I'd missed because I hadn't been able to stitch every day. But here is my Bee Queen and the progress on her. So I worked mainly over here. I finished this lovely large daisy and I put in the leaves up here. This is the beginning of another daisy, and I put in this beautiful, I'm going to call it a lily. I think it's a beautiful lily. So lots of stitches in there. I am ahead stitch wise of where I need to be in inverted commas, but I'm really happy to be making progress, and now I can see the progress in her. As I said last time, I'm trying to finish everything that goes in the space I've got here on the scroll frame, available on the scroll frame before I scroll up or down. So I know there's a lot of her dress needs finished. But I want to I don't want to scroll up and then down and then up and then down. So I want to do everything that's in this section and then decide whether which way I'm going to go to finish, to move on. But there's still quite a bit to do over here, and then there's pretty much the same to do over here on this side. So I imagine it's going to be another couple of weeks, maybe another month before we actually start moving the scroll frame. So, but it's fun. It's been fun to keep up and just have a little push every day, a little bit of progress, and seeing that happen. Okay, so that's the Bee Queen. And then the only other stitching that I have is a new start, and it's for a gift. It's going to be part of a gifted, a couple of stitches that I want to gift, and so I want to get them done. So in order to get them done, I need to get them started. So this is Only Once by Sweetwing Studio. Only once. Be a blessing while you may, only once you pass this way. So I think it's very sweet. Very, very sweet. This is stitched with a mixture. The recommended is a mixture of Classic Colorworks, DMC, Gentle Arts and Weeks. But I have gone to pretty much all of the DMCs except 2. So all of them except 2. So here is my start, and it's on a 36 count pale cream Edinburgh linen, and it's not a very big start because I only started it 2 nights ago, but it's lovely. I think this top border is going to be beautiful when it's all filled in. It is 1/2 on 36 count, so the coverage isn't as full as some people might like it, but I think it's working out quite nicely, and it's actually really nice to stitch. It's really pleasant stitching. So you just get charts like that sometimes, don't you, where it's not a chore, it's just really pleasant. Not that I find many of them a chore, but some of them are just, you know, some of them just kind of, I don't know, they're sort of more smooth sailing or something, I don't know. Anyway, I hope you know what I'm trying to say, even though I'm very inarticulate about saying it. So that is my my start on Only Once, and I'm hoping to keep going with that so that I can get it finished and sent off sometime midsummer. I'm going to just keep the card together with that. And so yeah, so that's all of my stitching. In terms of plans, well, I think I'm reworking the plans. So this thing here is the greatest work of fiction known to mankind currently in this house. This is my stitch planner, and in all honesty, the last couple of months, my actual stitching doesn't bear much resemblance to the planning. And there's, you know, a number of reasons for that. I decided to do some gift stitching. I decided blah, 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 you know, so things change, plans change. And that is now hilarious at work of fiction for the last couple of months. But that's okay. I think I do have a lot that I've committed to. So Sal's stitching for gifts and a few other bits and pieces that I've committed to, and I'm happily committed to them, but I need to just focus on those commitments and keep those going and not worry about bringing in the other neglected whips that I've got. So what I've decided to do is focus on the priorities. If then there is time after that, then I can pick up one of my existing whips. What I would like to do is bring a whip in and keep at that whip for a while, you know, bring that in and that be additional to my commitments, but keep at that one. Don't then flit to another one and another one. And WhipGo was making me flit from this one to that one to this one to that one, because I had so many commitments going that I couldn't keep my WhipGo project progressing. So it got left back in the pile because the next WhipGo number came in. Does that make sense? So I would do a couple of days on the next WhipGo number, and then I would set that aside. And meanwhile, I am keeping stitching, I am doing the commitments, but all the whips are getting a tiny touch and not really moved on. So I think WhipGo and I are parting ways, just because it's not working this year. But you know, I did do 5 months of it where it did work. It was, you know, I got some progress. It wasn't wasted stitching, put it like that. Okay, but it's just not serving the purpose for now. So I think I'm going to bow out gracefully from WhipGo. And it's a little bit earlier than usual. I normally make it till about August before I bow out of WhipGo, but there you go. So when I say that I'm going to focus on those things, that doesn't mean there won't be new starts, because I have committed to a few new starts to support people on their journeys, their sales and birthday stitching and what have you. So I've got a couple, not too many more, but a couple. And then, as you know, I'll be stitching Historical Sampler Company things that come up as well. Actually, with just mentioning that, the Historical Sampler Company does have their Halloween stitch released. So their stitch along for Halloween is called Pumpkin Patch, and that is released now, so you can pre-order it now. And I'll tell you more about that next time. Now you know that I don't stitch Halloween, so you want to keep watching, because keep watching. So when it comes to me, I might be sharing it on. But when it comes to me, I will show you everything. As always, they have the stitch along kit that you can order. They have the PDF only version that you can order, and they have an additional gift box that goes along with the stitch along, and those are always fun. They sell out quickly. I'm not sure if there's any left. I think there were some left on Friday, but it's worth going and taking a look. I'll try and put the link in for that stitch along down below, even though I don't have all of the details, all of the information to share with you right now, but it's all there on their website anyway, and I will be sharing it again next video. So as I said, keep an eye here if you like it. Anyways, that's the plans really. I'm going to try to focus in a little bit better, stick with my commitments, and then just bring one thing over and try to make progress that way. So we'll see. It really doesn't matter too much as long as I make the things I'm committed to. As long as I make those happen, the rest is good. Okay. For Get Connected, I wanted to tell you about the Stitch in London retreat and tell you that it was open for booking. But when I checked this morning, it's actually fully booked. So I know that seems a bit cruel of me to mention it now, but what I will do and turn this Get Connected around a little bit is to say that if you think you might in the future have an interest in retreats, whether it's Stitch in London, or I've just been watching this morning about the Wrexham retreat and what a success that was, or the big Stitch for next year or whatever, the best way not to miss out on retreats is to be signed up to the newsletter of those who are running the retreats. So sign up to the Stitches and Diamonds Stitch in London newsletter, and then you'll be notified when those retreats open for booking. They just opened for booking last weekend, so it's really fantastic news that Marie has, and not a surprise to me really, but she has sold out 2 weekends in October for the Stitch in London retreat. Stitch in London is not a huge retreat. There are going to be 56 participants at each weekend. So, you know, you do need to get in early if you want to book, but it's really great that she has filled her slots already. It's also worth putting your name on a waiting list if you're interested, because life happens and people do drop out all the time. And if you are able to travel perhaps at shorter notice and make your plans to go, then it's worth being on the waiting list for those things. But certainly go and find the retreats that you want to be part of, whether that's the big ones like Stitch North and StitchCon, Marie's Stitch in London retreat, the Wrexham retreats, there's Essex Needles retreats, whatever those are. When you hear about them, ask people, well, you know, where do you sign up for that? Where do you find out the information about that? And see if you can sign up to a newsletter that would notify you and keep you in that connection, so that you don't miss out when the opportunity arises. My one great thing that I want to share with you today is a new release from Flossabilities. So Lauren and Sam shared this one with us this week. If you haven't already seen it, it is Furry Festive Friends. It's a gorgeous Christmas tree. That Christmas tree is amazing. And I know it has some beads on and some Krynic thread. You could just leave those off though, and just stitch with a gold color thread, so don't be afraid of it. But also don't be afraid of it in terms of trying it out. People are really afraid of beading, and beading is making your cross, but before you go back down into the fabric, you slip a bead on your needle. It's really not that hard. It might not be for you, it might not be the thing you like to do, but I think sometimes people imagine that it's much more difficult than it is. But you bring your needle up through the fabric, you slip a bead on the end of the needle, you put the needle back down through the fabric, and the bead is in situ. The bead is in situ, sorry. So please don't be afraid and try and give something new a go. But I'm quite sure that this could easily be, be stitched without them as well. Lots of cute little dogs. A dog wearing a Santa hat. Look how gorgeous is he. Lots of cute furry friends. I think there's the cat presiding, of course, king or queen of the room. So for those of you who love your festive stitches and your cats and dogs, this one could be a really good option for Christmas in July stitching, which is going to be upon us in a few weeks' time. So hop over to the Flossabilities Etsy shop. I'll link that down below so that you can find this pattern easily if it interests you. So congrats on another great pattern, Sam and Lauren. Okay, that is everything I've got to show you, except if you made it this far, I do have my 4-year anniversary giveaway ready. I'm a couple of episodes late because I was waiting on this first piece of the giveaway to arrive in the mail, and it came last week, so I'm able to share it with you now. So I've got 4 giveaways. If you want to enter the giveaways, you can be from anywhere in the world, so happy to send internationally. Please be a subscriber. Please be over 18 so that I can ask you for your mailing address, because these are all physical things that have to be popped in the post. Don't use words like give, giveaway, winner, prize, any freebies. Don't use any of those words, so that we keep these safely in the hands of people who actually want to stitch them or use them for their stitching. Okay. All of that said, all you have to do is add in the respective code word into your comment, and you will be entered into the giveaway for whichever one of these you like. First up is the alphabet workbook from Jean Farish Needleworks. So this was what I was waiting on arriving in the post. I thought this would be a nice gift to give to you, because it's a nice resource of different alphabets in cross stitch and in back stitch, so that you can personalize your designs, or perhaps make them make your own designs. You can put your favorite quotes into one of these alphabets. You can use the backstitch alphabets to create signatures on your work. So this is a lovely alphabet workbook, and it's just recently released by Jean Farish. She talks about it on her channel, and I wanted to get a copy of it to share with you, to offer you. So if you would like a copy of this alphabet workbook, then please use the word alphabet in your comments. My next offering is a kit, and it's a Luca S kit, and it's 3 stacked teacups. For those of you with a good memory, you need a good memory because it's a long time since you've seen it. Those of you with a good memory know that I'm stitching turquoise teacups. This one is more pinky, and it's on a pink even weave fabric, a 20 count pink even weave fabric. It is beautifully cut. Look at the colors of these threads. They're so lovely. And my kit is also Luca S, and I really love it. I think the quality has been beautiful to work on. The chart has been good to read. So this is a little pink version of the stacked teacups. If you fancy stitching some beautiful teacups, then use the word teacups in your comment. You don't need to worry too much on my channel about getting the spelling correct, or whether it's teacups is 1 word or 2 words or anything. At the moment, I'm using a comment picker that, without searching for only those comments that mention the words, so I don't have to type it in and it's not making an exact match. So I'm just picking a comment at random, and if that comment has one of my words, one of my winning words in it, then we'll run with that. If the person who has commented hasn't mentioned any of those words, then I just pick again until I get someone who has mentioned the words. So I just say that because sometimes, you know, this one in particular, you could say, does it have to be teacups, 2 words, or teacups, all 1 word? Or don't get stressed about it. I also like to do it that way because it helps me to pick up sometimes when someone has made an accidental spelling error or something when they've been typing in, and you know that they want to be included in the draw, but if I ask the comment picker to search for the word, it would skip them. So anyway, I'm trying to be kind of fair and inclusive, so don't stress is what I'm trying to say. So use the word teacups in your saucer, in your yeah. Use the word teacups in your comment, not in your saucer. Sarah. Chaos, I told you. Okay, the next one is a pattern and the little buttons that go along with the pattern, and it is hands-on design, present blessings. It says reflect upon your present blessings. And I wanted to share this one with you because I am very grateful for the blessing of having you all support me in this channel. You offer me advice, giggles, support and encouragement as I've gone along the 4 years of this journey. And as I said before, the channel wouldn't be the channel without you. So present blessings is available, and there are, I think, half a dozen little buttons, half a dozen little buttons that go on the chart, and they are included in here for you. And then the last one, the word to use is blessings. The last one that I'm offering, so four giveaways for 4 years. This is a Cosford Rise stitchery pattern, and I saw this stitched up at a Stitch in London. I'm not sure if it was last year or the first year that I was there. It is the Love to Stitch Biscornu and Scissor Fob. It's beautifully detailed, really, really beautifully detailed. And the model stitch of this was amazing. I couldn't resist buying the pattern after I saw the model stitch, and I wanted to keep it, and I want to share it with you. So this one used the word biscornu if you would like to stitch the biscornu. Can you see the pattern okay? There you go. Sorry for any reflections of the plastic that's on the charts, but hopefully we're able to see everything. Okay, so today you have a lot on offer. Don't forget to use Birdhouse for the Cotton and Twine box, Alphabet if you'd like the Jean Farish book, Teacups if you would like the Luca S kit, Blessings for the hands-on design present blessings chart, and Biscornu for the Love to Stitch Biscornu and Scissor Fob. So yeah, lots to keep you busy in the comments today. That's really everything that I have to share today, and I'm so glad that you were able to stop by with your stitching and hopefully enjoy 40 minutes or so with me. So thank you so much for coming along. I hope to be back again in 2 weeks, and as always I say, until then, please stay well and stitch happy. Bye folks.